This is breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.
Good afternoon, everyone. At 7, I'm Renee Summerhour with 7 at 7 a.m. and the Las Vegas Review-Journal. We are following today's breaking news on COVID-19 numbers. Recently, new cases of the coronavirus and deaths from COVID-19 have been trending downward in Nevada. And today, state officials reported that the 14-day positivity rate reached its lowest point in 5 months. Now, Mike Brunker is here to join us now. Let's bring him in, our Review-Journal assistant city editor, who has been coordinating our COVID-19 coverage from the start. Hi, Mike. Thank you for joining us today. First of all, can you explain what the 14-day positivity rate is and what its downward trend means to Nevada?
Yeah, it's essentially, it tracks out of all the people who get tested for COVID, the percentage that ultimately are shown to be positive. So obviously when that rate is high, that means there's more Nevadans walking around, potentially spreading the disease to others. So the downward trend of that has been encouraging, and it's been pretty steady since it peaked on January 13th at 21.6%.
Well, the state also reported new cases and death figures. What do those numbers show?
So they were both higher than average today. We had 429 new cases reported and 14 deaths, both of which are quite a bit higher than the 14-day average we've been seeing. The caveat to that is that some of the counties, especially out in the rural areas, are no longer reporting data on the weekends. So that tends to suppress the numbers a little bit on the Sunday and Monday reports, and they get made up for in the Tuesday report. So that could be just a one-day aberration, but it's obviously something we'll be keeping our eyes on going forward.
Yeah, and with the vaccine, those numbers are definitely changing as the weeks progress. Mike, our coverage of COVID-19 has been emphasizing the moving 14-day average. Can you tell us what that average is and why it's so important to understand what's going on?
Yeah, primarily, as I just mentioned with the daily numbers, they tend to yo-yo around quite a bit. But with the 14-day average, the public health experts, both with the state and at the county level, go back and try to get a better read on when the onset of symptoms might have began, for instance, or the actual date a person died as opposed to when it got reported to state officials. So that helps them kind of smooth out the trend line and makes it clearer when it's headed lower or headed higher. So that it's a much better thing for people to keep their eye on than those daily numbers.
So just to sum it up, Mike, one last question to simplify it all, since you've been covering this and we have other reporters covering this that you oversee. Are we seeing an overall downtrend, or should people still be practicing the social distancing, wearing the mask? I mean, we have to do that anyway. But overall, are we seeing an improvement in this COVID-19 pandemic as far as it ending, or are those numbers still kind of going up and down?
Well, all the key metrics that the state provides have been heading lower now for about a month and a half at least. Some of them even since late November. So that's really encouraging news. The caveat to it is, and the thing viewers should keep in mind is, we really do need to keep the mitigation measures in place. Face masks, social distancing, all that is equally important. And the unknown here is the variants. They continue to spread. That could easily turn this thing back up. So caution is called for here going forward.
Mike Brunker, our COVID-19 czar, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Renee.
Now you can read more on our coverage of COVID-19 and the pandemic online at lvrj.com, and we will have an update for you on the pandemic for you on this evening, 7 at 7 p.m. You can also download our free RJ mobile app to get these news alerts sent straight to your phone, and also find us on Roku, Alexa, and all of your favorite digital platforms. I'm Renee Summerhour. Thank you for joining us.
You've been watching breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.